today too.
Yeah, a little thing called the start of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season. It kicks off today. And on the heels of today, the Climate Prediction Center releasing its latest update to ENSO, giving us a clearer picture of El Nino conditions as we inch closer to summer.
That region 3.4, as we know, the waters near the equatorial Pacific continue to warm. In fact, they are now warmer than average compared to what we saw in April, as they were cooler than average, but getting warmer. Plus, with the Atlantic hurricane season just about 2 weeks away, the National Hurricane Center today, they've started issuing those tropical weather outlooks, and you see the text there, no tropical development expected in the next 7 days. We like it.
Phew, we like to see that one. Joining the conversation, National Hurricane Center Deputy Director Jamie Rhome. Jamie, thank you for joining us here on Weather Command. We look ahead to the tropical outlooks, as Stephen showed there. No development expected in the next 7 days. But here's the thing, and here's our question to start. Well, the Atlantic Basin doesn't technically begin its hurricane season until June 1st.
Yeah.
So we have a couple more weeks to go. We have a screenshot of the full text that goes along with that TWO, that tropical weather outlook. And it kind of says what Stephen showed us already, and also just outlines this is routine, and you're going to see more of this moving forward. But why begin them for the Atlantic now if it's the EPAC that technically just launched today?
It's just a way for us to be prepared and ready. It's not atypical for early season activity in the Atlantic. So, occasionally we can get situations where activity forms before the official start of the hurricane season on Atlantic hurricane season on June 1. So I think it's just better we're all prepared and situated. We like to practice what we preach here at the National Hurricane Center. We tell the viewers to be ready for hurricane season even before a storm or disturbance forms. We like to practice what we preach here at the Hurricane Center.
I think that's a good reason why they're issued. I was curious about that as well. Jamie, you have the Eastern Pack behind you, and we like what it says. Nothing expected over the next 7 days. If there's one thing that's interesting, looking at the different maps that we have, it's how anomalously warm the Eastern Pacific is. I mean, even parts of the Central Pacific closer to Hawaii. Does that, and we have that map, I think, to show, does that tell you anything about the early weeks of the EPAC season, how it's anomalously warm?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, nobody's breaking news to say that El Nino appears to be developing in the Pacific potentially quite quickly, and if that trend continues, that would likely create conditions that would favor tropical cyclone development in not only the Eastern Pacific but also the Central Pacific. So, obviously we're really watching that activity, making sure that we're really, really prepared to handle an uptick in activity out here. Probably you've covered this before, but we're, for the first time ever, we have the full suite of storm surge products, including an explicit watch and warning for the first time ever being developed for Hawaii should a threat develop there. And so, yeah, we're taking it very, very seriously and sort of getting prepared. All sorts of testing and readiness activity happening behind the scenes, including some of which today.
Yeah, we were, Stephen and I were just collecting our thoughts before the interview with you. Yeah. You oversee the storm surge unit, wondering what evolution we would see this season, but storm surge can be incredibly dangerous and deadly as we get those landfalling systems. But in terms of the EPAC, in terms of watching the Eastern Pacific, as you know, your team at the National Hurricane Center, also with the CPC Climate Prediction Center, you released this long-range outlook, and it is a product we've been showing here throughout the morning, showing that development is likely toward the end of May and early June. And in June, we do typically have these what are called homegrown systems, particularly in the Gulf. How does that work with the Eastern Pacific? Do these lows moving off the Mexico coast, is this something we typically start to see at this time of the season?
Yeah, so what happens in the early parts of the season is a little bit different. This is a really good question. The pattern it sets up in the early part of the season, so late May, early June on a normal year, is you get a little bit out of reach here, but you get this sort of, we call it a Central American gyre, but sort of technical speak, you just sort of get this sort of semi-permanent broad scale circulation that sort of forms down there, and you get a lot of moisture to sort of pull up. So that can be a genesis area for cyclone activity, both in the Eastern Pacific, Western Caribbean, or western side of the Atlantic Basin. So that's one of the things you're watching for. Also, early in the season, we're still getting cold fronts or cool fronts this time of year pushing into the Gulf waters, and if they sort of stall and linger, that can be an early genesis mechanism. It's a little early in the season for the traditional tropical wave coming off Africa. While they are there, they are present, they tend to be on the weakish side. That's more of a potential genesis mechanism sort of later into the Atlantic hurricane season. So those are the types of patterns that you're looking at closely to see how they will materialize.
And I hate to skip around here, but sort of this free-flowing conversation that we're having, Jamie, with the storm surge products that now will be issued for Hawaii. Behind the scenes, was there a lot of work that needed to be done in order to have those products generated? Because storm surge is so complicated, it's so complex, and I'm wondering why previous seasons we weren't able to feature those products, but we will be able to now. I know it's been in the works for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, great question. Number one, it allows me the opportunity to brag on the hard work of our folks here. So in an island environment like Hawaii, the continental shelf, or how quickly the ocean gets deep as you move offshore. And if you visit Hawaii, you know this. It's almost like an instant drop, meaning it gets deep instantly as you move offshore. So the physical mechanisms that generate water rise are different in that type of environment than they are, say, here on the west coast of Florida, where the continental shelf just goes out forever. It's just shallow forever. So this requires a different modeling approach. Our model had to be upgraded to enable this capability. That was sort of step one. Step two, and this is sort of a fun fact for people, storm surge warning is one of the warnings that we call a WEA, a wireless emergency alert, or what you would know is it gets pushed to your cell phone. You can imagine the massive amount of testing and coordination with you get regulatory approval and get that type of mechanism in place to be able to not only issue it from here, but have that information flow through the entire federal system and trigger the cell phone alerting. So those two things combined made Hawaii a particularly difficult challenge for us. And that's why it came a little bit later than other parts of the storm surge journey. It's also why we're so proud to launch it this season, the culmination of years of effort here at the National Hurricane Center. Hopefully we don't get to try it out this season, but I do feel good in the fact that if El Nino does develop and we do have an active season out there, we've got every tool in the arsenal to warn people.
We have our Michael Estimated today talking about the PMM, the Pacific Meridional Mode, and that sometimes is a harbinger too with these two climate factors of maybe Hawaii getting in on some action. So what timing? Before we let you go, we never can let you off the hook without talking to you about AI, Jamie. I blame Brian Norcross, our hurricane expert, because at the top of the hour he was showing us a product that was pretty interesting from Google's DeepMind. It's not technically a cone, but it's a product that DeepMind is introducing that could show where maybe the center of a cyclone will eventually go. He was giving an example in the Western Pacific, because there's hints that we could get one in the Western Pacific by late next week. I mean, with this new feature, I'm sure AI is going to get even more attention. There's a product right there. Yeah, great. Love that we can show that. And AI has come a long way. It wasn't great on forecasting intensity last season, we know that, but from the perspective of the NHC, are you guys using it even more now this season? And is that one of the products that you guys will be watching as well on the side?
Yeah, this is a great question. While AI has been a part of our forecast process here for years, dating back to even when I was a hurricane forecaster, to give you a sense of context, the sophistication and level of the machine learning is much, much, much deeper and accelerates at a pace now that it boggles the mind. And we're poised not only with our relationship and agreement with Google, but other AI models and capabilities to extract that information and put it into our forecast almost immediately. One of the big thrusts that we had in the off season was looking back at last season, learning and then adjusting, because last year was sort of the first year that we really started to use these newer AI modeling techniques. I think we learned a lot in that season, and now we're ready to push forward much more confidently in using these new tools to improve our forecast.
It is fascinating to watch, and honestly, to have a front row seat to everything you've been able to do. I know the EPAC season is just beginning today, but the work never ends at the National Hurricane Center, and continuing to adapt and work on the tools that we are able to bring to everybody to keep them safe. So thank you for joining us this morning. We've got, 200 days to go, 199 as we look ahead to the season. So Jamie Rhome, Deputy Director of the National Hurricane Center, thank you for your time.
Thank you.